our first local market was actually New York, and we thought that London sort of had the same sartorial similarities, the same very newsy culture. There's a lot happening here. There's a big drinking and dining scene. There's a huge art and culture scene. So we really thought it was a natural fit for our first international market. And we already have a very dedicated London readership. We have a big, not a big, but we have a very loyal presence in the UK. And we have been getting, I personally, the whole team, have been getting a lot of emails from readers over there that are like, please launch London, we'd love for you to come over to London. So we're just really, really amped about this.
Yeah.
And
now we're making it official.
Yeah, we're making it official, and I think there's really nothing in the digital space right now over here that does what we do in terms of a 360 look at lifestyle. We do fashion, we do shopping, we do insider guides, we do profiles on it girls and designers, we do office sort of shoots, and then we also do, the hottest restaurants to eat at, what galleries you should be, what artists you should be investing in.
What sample sales should be attending.
Yeah.
So it goes from very, very hyper-local stuff to more general, limited flavor expert.
And a lot of news as well. I mean, in New York, we were covering Sandy, the hurricane, and our tropical storm, and we were also covering in DC, in our DC market, we were covering the election. So we found that our readers are really willing to push the boundaries with our content, and we've been able to expand our wheelhouse to really offer, a one-stop hub for really everything.
So, when you started, when Refinery started in the States, did you think that it was going to be this big?
I think when it started, the original concept was to create a resource for people who like shopping. So it was celebrating a couple local boutiques, and I think the goal was to have feature 29 rotating boutiques. And over the time, it's changed to a weekly newsletter, to a daily newsletter, to a daily newsletter plus 5 blog entries, and it's grown exponentially year after year. What it is now is completely different from what it was 2 years ago, what it was 3 years ago, But right now we're at a place where we celebrate not only like the fashion, fashion themed content, but we also do commerce, we're a community, we are also like a tech resource, we kind of do it in the world.
Yeah, I mean, we both started three and a half years ago. Connie was employee number 6, I was employee number 7.
Yeah.
And really, we're still a startup, but it had a very different mentality than in terms of, we wore all different hats, and so we sort of saw the evolution from the ground up, and now there's over 90 employees in just 3 years, so the growth has not that I'm shocked, but it has been startling in a good way.
Yeah.
So now we really have experts, on our tech team. We have experts on our ad team. We have, social media team. So we have a news team. So it's allowed us to really hire the best in the field to sort of be an authority and let us continue to grow.
And back then our imaginations were always a little bit bigger than what we were able to fulfill, and now we're at a point finally where we can dream it up and then we can actually
we want to do holiday drinking map, and we want to be able to zoom in on this, and then be able to click over here and do this graphic and do video component and put a social media widget.
Yeah.
That needs to be an app over here.
Yeah.
In the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we do really special fun things like that, things that we would like to share with our own friends, and I feel like if we're obsessed with it, other people will be obsessed with it as well. Because we like to keep it real.
We just want to be people's, cool best friend. We're not removed. We're not, there's other digital sites that, are quote unquote sort of cool and, hipster or whatever, but there's a big disconnect with our audience. And, if we're going to the CFDA dinner, if we're going to, Damien Hirst's new show, sort of at the Brand Gallery, we want you to be along with us, so we're not going to talk down to you. And I think that's why our readers are really so loyal, because, that's who we are. That's their part of our core, and we want them to feel like they were there.
I wanted to go back, because I thought it was interesting that you said that you still consider you guys a startup. Can you get deeper into that? What is a startup? I know what a startup is, but what do you think a digital startup is, and why do you still think, I guess you're still in your growth period?
I feel like, I don't know the technical definition of what a startup is, but that kind of startup culture where experimentation is a good thing, no one has set rules for anything. Like, if you think of something exciting, you can just try it. You know, if it fails, whatever. But if it's a success, that's awesome. Everyone does pretty much everything. We all know how to do photo. We know how to write. We know how to do production. And once you are a part of the Refinery29 family, you not only feel like, you know, you should be doing this, but you like want to do everything that is involved in the site. So, you know, we're doing some pretty special things with, you know, trying to mix up content and commerce, and I mean that like in a more, I guess, I don't know what I'm saying exactly.
But
that kind of spirit, that kind of do it all spirit, like lives in the actual content of our site as well. You know, like we don't just write about products, but we write about, you know, like lifestyle and trying to mix like editorial, shopping, all that stuff together.
And I mean, we are still, this is startup mentality as well. You know, to speak to what Connie was saying, there's so much latitude, which I think a lot of companies don't have. A lot of companies that are, you know, have been around for longer or have more structure. So it's true what Connie said, that, you know, if I want to go to our publisher and be like, hey dude, I want to do this, let's try this, you know, I want to write about this, I'm allowed to do that, you know, and that, I think that really is still very much part of our DNA and will be, but we have so much more to grow, and there's so much more we want to do, so I think in that sort of space we are a startup, and we're still really dedicated to fostering that type of environment.
So is your audience just for hipsters? How do you feel about the word hipster?
I'm waiting for someone to come up with another word, so if you have any suggestions.
Yeah.
No, hipster is a great SEO word. Like I guess
You got it down pat.
it's SEO gold, that word, because it's just like if for sites like yours, lifestyle and fashion, people search for that word. They type hipster spots in London, and boom, if you have all the cool spots, you'll come up, you know, in the top 5.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just,
I
don't want to put
to me.
words in any hipster's mouths, but I think hipster right now is like people with taste or discerning taste. You know, you don't want to go to things that everyone else is going to, but you want to have something that's a little bit more refined, you know, a little bit more underground, you know, so you don't feel like touristy.
But I think that we are approaching for hipster, and let's be real, with a wink. You know, we're being cheeky about it. We just did something, Are You at a Hipster Wedding, which was an infographic, and it was like, you know, it was just hilarious. What were some of the things?
Like, are you drinking out of a mason jar?
Yeah, you drink out of a mason jar. They're like, you know.
Did you get a jar of homemade kimchi as your like wedding gift?
So that's like, you know, we're not making fun of it. We're laughing along with it. So we understand, because our audience really has evolved in 5 years, 7 years from, you know, what a hipster was at that time to, you know, we have readers who want to know what this sling bag is that they should buy, and they're going out and buying it. You know, our demographic has expanded. The household income has expanded. 50% of our readers use a Mac. You know, so there's definitely that word is too narrow a focus, but I think all of our readers understand what it means. I mean, so yeah, we of course we use it, but we definitely use it with a wink.
So tell me more about Refinery29 London. Does it have its own staff, or is it freelancers?
It's a community, so we have a staff, and then we're also accepting, you know, contributors, photo writers, basically anything. And you know, we already have a bunch of different local markets in the United States: New York, Chicago, LA, San Francisco, DC, Miami. And you know, those have been super successful with their teams out there. So this is our first international one.
Yeah, we have it under we'll be announcing, and we have some really good contributors already on the field, and some photographers that we're working with and freelancers. So we definitely have a ground team here, and you know, obviously we will be training them. And I think that we're really excited to explore what happens here. I think that there's so much potential, and it's really about finding out what the London audience wants. You know, we're obviously going to take our template, take our voice, but then it's really going to be exploring, you know, what matters most to these readers. You know, are they more, you know, drinking and dining? Are they more gourmands? Or are they more, you know, insider shopping? And obviously we'll offer everything, but I think what's worked in our local markets is they all sort of appeal to a certain aspect of that community.
They all have like a very strong personality.
Yeah, and strong fashion sense. I mean, in San Francisco, we do, we just did something like flat shoes for the, for the San Francisco Hills, and maybe those shoes aren't shoes that our New York readers would wear, but we have editors in place who really are there to understand what those people want.
It's so funny you did a story on flat shoes. I did a story on flat shoes as well, but flat shoes for girls with bunions. The bunion fashionista.
Yeah, real
The
specific.
Bunyan fashionista.
And it's like, I got a lot of
I
hits.
love the bunion fashionista. Can I be a bunion fashionista?
No, because I did the research and it was like, but people with bunions can't wear high heels.
Oh,
So how can you still be a fashionista with bunions?
it's very possible.
It's possible. Who doesn't like a little Oxford? Connie loves flats. I have to force her to wear heels. It's really, but we were just at this new thing today. There was these amazing heels, and I was like, if I was a girl, I wish I was a girl just so I could wear these. I have no interest in drag, but if I did, I would be wearing them. And Connie's like, I can't wear heels. I'm like, ugh. But for you bunion girls out there, there's many options.
I can show you the way.
So what's the face of the Refinery29 Bureau in London? Like, how is that shaping up?
Well, I think London's always been a super interesting place for me in terms of fashion, just because it's got such a rich tradition of fashion. So you have your like heritage brands like Burberry and like Pringles and all these other brands, and then you have these like very new, up and coming like indie designers who are doing really, really outrageous and cool things. And then you have your very like high-end luxury designers, and you have like your high street markets like Topshop and Selfridges and whatever. And it's got like a really rich, vibrant shopping community, fashion community, and I think that also translates to food, music, all those other things as well. So I mean, we haven't quite yet really delved into what London is, but just from my inkling, the London girl kind of wants it all, has it all.
And boy. I think what's so great about this city is, even more so than I think our U.S. markets, there's such a mix of sort of storied history, traditionalism, and then just crazy cutting edge. I mean, the street style here is insane. So you can see a girl with her grandfather's Barber jacket, and then rocking J.W. Anderson.
Yeah.
So it's such an eclectic mix. So I definitely think, and that's, as Connie said, the same is true with food. You have these like old English gastropubs, and then, it's.
What are the top 5 things to do in London
Right now?
right now?